This video contains valid EAS tones. You'll know the drill. Don't play these tones on the radio. I ain't paying a heavy fine to bail you out of jail cause you misused these tones. Also, please do not copy, steal, or rip off this video or any of my other videos. Talking to you TikTokers, seriously. You don't want to get a copyright strike. You don't want to get your account suspended or terminated. Learn to make your own content and quit stealing other people's content just because you're lazy. Viewer discretion is advised and you have been warned.
Welcome to the Emergency News Network. A strange and unusual situation is taking place across the United States. In most U.S. states, a random weather event would take place, even on a day when it was supposed to be sunny. Another thing is, a weather event would take place in one state, then a little bit later, another one would appear in a totally different state. This has happened many times throughout the week. Normally this would not be seen as a big deal considering this is part of life, but the way it's been happening, such as it happening on a day when it was supposed to be completely sunny, it raises concern. It's like bad weather appears at the last second, and when it wasn't supposed to. This raises concern throughout America, and they that the weather is being controlled by some kind of phenomenon. For your safety, ignore all weather apps and sources, as they may not give accurate weather outlooks. The Emergency News Network will continue to provide the weather. However, it will only be weather that can be clearly seen. We will not predict the weather, and anything outside of this phenomenon. All weather announcements and updates will be suspended until further notice. Weather alerts will now be more inaccurate than they already were. So far, this is all the news we have for now. Regular programming will now continue as scheduled. The National Weather Service in Knoxville has issued a tornado warning for all of Knoxville until 12 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seek shelter now. I repeat, seek shelter now. This is an extremely dangerous situation. You will be killed if you're outside or not in a suitable shelter. Breaking news. The entire city of Knoxville has been completely destroyed by an EF5 tornado today. The funny thing is, today was supposed to be sunny skies all day, yet a tornado just somehow appeared out of thin air. Although reports of a strange alert popping up an hour before the tornado came in, this alert was described as an alert that would issue the weather warning before going completely silent, and after a couple of seconds, it would say where the weather event was happening. After that, it would go back to being silent, and after a couple of seconds, it would give out a random time period and duration. Some other reports came in about the alert going silent, then they tried to guess the location and time, and immediately after they gave a location, which in this scenario was all of Knoxville, the alert gave the location. The same thing happened with the time period and duration. We've been informed that this all may have been a glitch in the system, but doubts about that exist due to the weather prediction coming true in such a quick period of time, and on a sunny day, where the chances of any sort of severe weather would have been impossible to exist. We do not know anything else about the situation, but civil authorities will continue to investigate the situation. The National Weather Service in Atlanta has issued a hurricane warning for all of Atlanta until further notice. Seek shelter now. This is a mass casualty situation. Seek shelter now. If this is not possible, evacuate the city immediately. Do not wait, take some sort of action now to prepare for this deadly hurricane. It's strange to me on how a hurricane could just pop up randomly, and in an area far away from the coast. Now the entire city of Atlanta has been completely destroyed, just like Knoxville was. And the same situation occurred here in Georgia as it did in Knoxville before the hurricane happened. Reports of a strange alert popping up an hour before the tornado came in shortly after this 3-day-long hurricane ended. This alert was described as an alert that would issue the weather warning before going completely silent, and after a couple of seconds, it would say where the weather event was happening. After that, it would go back to being silent, and after a couple of seconds, it would give out a random time period and duration. Some other reports came in about the alert going silent, then they tried to guess the location and time, and immediately after they gave a location, which in this scenario was all of Knoxville, the alert gave the location. The same thing happened with the time period and duration. The reports said they thought they had to guess the location and time, and somehow got it right, but from other reports we've received on other weather events that have happened across the United States, this is no guessing game, although not 100% confirmed, even though I would think it would be. Civil authorities are saying this is not just any EAS alert, but an alert with the ability to control where any weather event happens, and when it happens. Civil authorities going through other reports that have come in, and they will come up with a confirmed conclusion shortly. Welcome to the Emergency News Network. Something I didn't think was possible is taking place across the entire United States. Every so often, a weather alert would pop up on someone's TV randomly. However, this wasn't just any report. The alert would begin with the phrase, "The National Weather Service for blank has issued a tornado warning for," and then would pause and not say anything. Now, this is where it gets really strange. Someone would say a location at this time frame, and then the alert would continue saying that location. Then, it would go on to say how long until the weather warning ends, but before it could say when it ends, it would pause again. Same thing. Someone would say the time of how long it were to last, and then the report would go on saying that same time. It was like the alert was waiting for someone to tell them what to say, or it wanted that specific human to give it a location and time until end for the particular weather warning it is reporting. This is currently explaining all of the recent weather events that have happened across the United States, as it is believed that other people received this strange alert in the past 2 weeks. The first report of this phenomenon was sent to us by Boris Anderson about 2 weeks ago when all of it first happened. Boris, can you give us a bit of details of what happened?
So me and my wife were watching TV, When recently, we've been getting these strange alerts. We had no idea how to explain any of it, but we thought it was some weird hijacking. However, we started joking around with them after the first week upon hearing these strange alerts. One of our jokes was saying that Kalu was the location to strike this event. Man, seeing Kalu being tormented by the weather was so funny.
That's all I needed to hear.
Wait, what?
Miss Anderson, how dare you abuse your child? That's it. You are grounded for life. Go to your room right now.
Dude, you can't do that. I'm the ultimate grounding dad. Wait, what? What's happening to me?
I'm a stupid fat child abuser.
That's what he gets. Anyways, if this alert pops up on your TV, turn it off immediately, and do not, for any reason, say a word, as the alert seems to be picking up voices and phrases to complete the alert. This is what it appears to be, and it seems to be in a way an ability to control the weather, or at least, where it goes. The alert would give a random weather event, and before giving the locations that are expected to be impacted, it goes silent, and tries to track any voices that could help it complete the sentence. Once the location and other necessary details are given, the event would happen at that given location at the given time. It is unknown how this alert can control the weather, nor who nor what is broadcasting it, but if you hear an alert where it goes silent, before giving those necessary details, turn off your television or radio device immediately. If this is not possible, stay absolutely silent, and walk out of your house. The emergency alert system is currently being inspected for any sort of virus or something that may be the cause of all this. Until then, please stand by and await further information. This is not some random hijacking as some people thought it was, but it is alert that is triggering these weather events. Some people thought it was a prank, in which these stupid people thought it'd be funny to treat the emergency alert system as a brainless computer, and be its teacher, in giving it the information needed to complete the alert as a joke. Treating the emergency alert system as a kindergartner student. Wow, just so cringe. Anyways, we will continue to provide more information as the situation develops. Please, stand by and await further information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States Geological Survey, at 1:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. An earthquake warning has been issued for the following locations: San Francisco, Los Angeles, Fresno, and San Diego. This earthquake may have the chance of causing the entire Pacific plate to destabilize, causing the coastline areas to collapse into the ocean. Everyone in the coastline cities, evacuate immediately. Welcome back to the Emergency News Network. The entire Pacific plate is destabilized and collapsed into the ocean. Everyone in the areas on the plate was killed, and only 53% of the population of this whole area managed to evacuate. The strange alert we've mentioned several days ago has also aired before this tragic event happened. Citizens has also said they have followed the instructions to when this alert appeared, yet it still gave the location after a couple of seconds. It appears that someone is giving the alert the details needed. Police and other civil authorities are on the lookout for the one responsible should the details have been given by an unknown individual. This is rising panic across the nation, as anything could happen next, if the situation is not resolved soon. We hope this situation is taken care of very soon. Please stand by and await further information and instructions.
National Information Center statement. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Civil authorities are on the search for the source that could be giving these alerts the information needed. Other civil authorities have inspected the emergency alert system, and they have confirmed that this phenomenon has nothing to do with the emergency alert system, but it being used by some kind of supernatural being that the National Weather Service, as well the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, confirmed to be in the air somehow. It like an airborne virus, so the supernatural being is not some visible object. They do not know where this airborne entity came from, but some do claim that it was somehow summoned, while others claim that it just appeared from nothingness. Kinda similar to the Big Bang Theory. The information they got from this is that the entity does not harm anyone unless it given a location and a time, and it has been using the emergency alert system to get that information, which apparently, someone, or something else, is giving it to the entity. Once it gets the information needed, it uses natural events, such as earthquakes, the weather, volcanic eruptions, etc., to unleash its malevolent intentions. Civil authorities claim that someone summoned this entity, explaining how it could be another human being giving the entity the information needed to cause mayhem and destruction. However, other civil authorities claim that something else is giving the entity its needed information now that everyone across America has gotten the message about this not being some random hijacking. In addition, the United States government wanted to give out this message. The message says as follows: residents across the United States should prepare for any natural event, even world-ending ones, as this entity can control literally anything, and
we will give you the information needed, or you will face a fate like no other. I am always watching. So, if I were you, I open your mouth and let me finish the work that needs to be done.
the following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. All residents across the United States, and the rest of the world, should prepare for any catastrophic event at any time between now and the next hour or two. An alert was just aired a few minutes ago, and it was an alert that was completely silent for the entire duration, but and after a few minutes later, it alert concluded. It is unknown what is expected to occur. However, residents across the United States should shelter in place immediately. Being outside is not considered safe at this time. All normal programming has been completely discontinued until further notice. We do not have any more information to announce at this time, but as soon as we get more information, announcing it will be the first thing we do. This alert will be repeated in exactly 1 minute. Please stand by and await further information. Get out of your homes immediately. I repeat, get out of your homes immediately. This is not a test. Just now, all electronics and appliances in every residential home across America have started malfunctioning and graphically killing people, similar to the Y2K problem. It is believed the silent alert that was given earlier was an alert triggering a Y2K event, even though we are years past that. Until the situation calms down, all residents across the United States need to leave their homes immediately. Do not evacuate in a car, as it could malfunction and kill you. Head as far into the woods as possible and hide until the situation calms down. Do your best to remain tuned to the station for further information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. All residents across the United States, and the rest of the world, should prepare for any catastrophic event at any time between now and the next hour or two. An alert was just aired a few minutes ago, and it was an alert that was completely silent for the entire duration, and after a few minutes later, it alert concluded. It is unknown what is expected to occur. However, residents across the United States should prepare to take any appropriate action, as staying inside homes has proven to be dangerous. When the Y2K reborn happened 1 hour ago, all normal programming has been completely discontinued until further notice. We do not have any more information to announce at this time, but as soon as we get more information, announcing it will be the first thing we do. This alert will be repeated in exactly 1 minute. Please stand by and await further information. We interrupt your regular programming. This is a global emergency. Important information will follow. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. At approximately 8:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, NASA has discovered a massive asteroid heading on a direct collision course with the Earth. From what members of NASA said, the asteroid popped out of nowhere, and they claim that we have about another hour or so before all life on Earth goes completely extinct. NASA says that this asteroid is bigger than the Moon, and all attempts of preventing the asteroid from colliding with Earth have failed, and they say other attempts at this point will most definitely fail, and even if they were to succeed at launching a nuke at it, it would cause huge chunks of the asteroid to hit Earth, which would already wipe out all of the human race. There is nothing humanity can do to stop this. All attempts of finding the source behind these alerts being finished has failed, and there are no more contingency plans to prevent the extinction of the human race. The asteroid is expected to collide with Earth in the next hour, if not less. Follow these instructions while you still can. Gather your family, and friends and pets if possible. Huddle each other tightly, and shut your eyes as tight as you can. Say your final prayer should you be religious. Do not tell younger children about this event, and ensure their well-being during their last moments. Release your feelings. And if you desire, do anything that makes you comfortable before this final hour comes to an end. There is no reason to stay calm. Go into panic mode if you want to. A representative of the president has selected a Bible verse to be played on the air. The message reads as follows: Philippians 4:6-9, Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need, and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on things that are true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you have learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. This alert will conclude with one last playing of the national anthem. Good luck to all. May God save us all.